Good morning, trading world. It is November 4th, 2022, and this is my pre-market outlook and technical analysis for day trading the markets. If you followed my pre-market on Thursday, I said if you missed the multi-day swing short put on before the FOMC, I said there would be another chance. Have patience. I still think we will have a burst up to the 393, 394 area on the SPY. Will it be today or next week is the question. The bounce from the lows of 348 created a minor uptrend on the daily chart, and the level at which that uptrend is broken is below 368. So until we close below 368, I have to still consider the uptrend still in place. This level will change, but at least for today, the trend break level is 368. And I know a lot of people are going to wonder where I pull that number from. It's pretty easy. On the daily, if we take our two indicators, I'm just going to use the MACD with prices and the reverse engineering MACD, and we can start to clearly see this uptrend from here that we had going, and we broke the uptrend, but it's not completely broken. So as we can see, this 368 level lines up perfectly with a supply demand zone at which we would kind of sputter at and get a bounce off of which we did. So breaking this level actually breaks that trend that we have going, but until then we could probably see another bounce back up and then a reversal pushing through that 368. So the question of the day is whether we get back up today or whether we break through that 368 level. So we're probably going to have a kind of a jump in market strength at the open, and it's going to take a while for that to level out. So we could have a rough ride the first maybe hour or two in the market this morning while we try to balance order flow or rebalance order flow. So a lot could happen in the first hour where we pretty much come down, maybe break or touch this level before taking off again. So we have to be very careful with that. So that's the main objective, the main thing I'll be looking for this morning. Which brings us to basically the two paths that we have to choose from today. 377 to 378 is extremely important as resistance today. We can continue up and falter at that level, and if we drop back below 368, the uptrend is broken, and Monday will have huge potential for a rather large gap down. Scenario number 2 sees us falter a bit, but persistence beats resistance, and we break through that 377, 378 level to go back towards the 390 area. So it's going to be interesting to see whether we take off and kind of find support before or at that 368 level first, or whether we take off toward the 377, 378 area first. So a lot of eyes will be on those levels. Let's get to the key levels to watch for the day, even though I've pretty much revealed one of the most significant levels today. All right, here we are with the key levels of the day. Starting on the resistance side, we have our jack resistance at 374 to the 375 level. Then we have our queen resistance, which will be really important today. 377 to the 381 level. Breaking out of this gives us kind of a catapult bounce. That's why the levels are so spaced out and large today, because we really have room to run to the upside. And then our king resistance level is 385 to the 395 level. On the support side, we have our jack support at 372 to the 371 area. Queen support 370 to the 369 area. And then our king support 368 to the 364 area. And it's something to be said if we falter too much and come down and visit, especially if we have either a morning spike down or a midday spike down and we come back and test this levels. It will be significantly possible for us to squeak a little below this 364 level if we get one of those scenarios where we falter too much to come back down and break this 368, which breaks the trend I talked about earlier. The scenarios for today. The main thesis is bearish, closing below the 371.01 with a projected target low of between 370 and 364. The alternate thesis is bullish, closing above the 371.01 with a projected target high of between 371 and 394. The current major channel we are in is 379 all the way down to 364. The major channel above is 379 up to 397. We have dissonance between the technical, which is bullish, and the quant side, which is bearish. There is some leftover order flow way up the ladder, so I look for the market to catch fire and go pretty much straight up to get it today. But be careful if we falter too long at 377 to 378, which means we may not go get it. And we have to be careful of the jobs situation report, because that could pretty much bring us below and down into this 368 area. Which I said it's important to hold because that keeps the trend together. And if we break below that, it's definitely evidence that this trend could go bye-bye, and we're looking at a long swing down coming in the next week or so. That brings us into the scenarios of the day. All right, our first and most probable scenario could be our trend day up. We open gap up and start with a slight fade back toward the previous close. We find support on or before the previous close, then begin the uptrend for the day. We usually find midday chop around either the possible queen or king resistance, but today may likely continue up like a rocket. be very cautious of this today. All right, here we go with our second scenario, which is going to be our expanded range day structure. We could have an initial pop higher, find resistance, and chop back and forth a sputter around the queen resistance before getting a midday fade, while still trying to spike back up toward the end of the day. So either way, if you notice, there's going to be a common thread between the scenarios today. There is going to be huge room to expand to the upside. So we gotta be cognizant of that. And here we are with the last scenario, which is our rounded reversal day type structure. We could get a continued push higher toward the jack of queen resistance area, find midday chop around either the queen or king resistance before going back down with the same energy or force we went up with the first part of the day. Now, even though I said that, keep an eye out for a strange midday fall if we get to the 377, 378 area. This could cause us to drop out and go back and test that area in which I said breaks the current trend. So be very, very careful. This is my pre-market outlook for November 4th, 2022. Very important as to how we continue going into next week. Today may be that day where we can get on those swing shorts. It may be worth trying it at the 377, 378 level. But we just have to kind of keep watch in how momentum moves at that level. So, as always, your most important job as a trader is to protect the capital that you already have. We do this by knowing and understanding the risk that we have on in each position and managing that risk in accordance to our account size. I hope this helps. Wishing you a positive trading day. Let's go out and make it a great one.